Cough syrup, yeah man. So many people are drinking it. Everything here is down.
We've got a generation to lose if the government does not step up.
This one makes us feel better. Cheapest way to get high, $5.
Police are come after we, but we don't give a damn about them. If they come, we wanna give them 2 bags, they go bed.
The streets of Harare are full of brown cough syrup bottles, a sign of the addiction epidemic currently ravaging the country, particularly affecting young people.
Dog, you can die the shit. I ain't got no mercy. I'm so ruthless. I'm a villain. Known that I'm a... 2016, I started drinking Bronclear. So per day I could take something like 4 bottles at 400 mils. I wasn't myself. I was someone else or something else.
The cough syrup, often of the brand Bronclear, contains codeine, an opiate that can be used as a painkiller. It's relatively harmless in small doses, but can be highly addictive. Bronclear also contains alcohol, so when you drink a lot of it, it will make you feel both drunk and high. In large quantities, it can lead to respiratory problems, dangerously low blood pressure, and permanent damage to the brain, heart, and liver.
Like I did it because of my friends. They were like, if you don't do this, I won't play with you. When you start doing it, afterwards you think it's a better way of life. My mother is a widow, then she doesn't go to work. So some of the times when we get piece jobs, we have to go and get some money and bring it home to buy some food.
This is my house. I stay here with my 5 children, my mother of 5. With my son, unfortunately, we didn't pick it up because he was in boarding school. My son, he's the quiet type. We couldn't really notice a change in him until last year. You know, you would come home, you would be on that couch, he's holding a plate in his hand, and you're speaking to him and he's not responding. That is what Bronclear does. He even went to a stage where he started taking things and selling them, maybe to buy his Bronclear or whatever he was taking then. Yeah, a lot of things, my laptop, cell phones, even food. He even went to that extent. One time he even ran away from home. He was now staying in the streets doing these drug things.
The economy is in ruins. 90% of the population is without formal employment, and families are plagued with poverty and addiction. Back in the 1980s, Zimbabwe was prospering, but former dictator Robert Mugabe ran the country into the ground. He was ousted in November 2017, and in July 2018, the country held its first democratic election in 4 decades. But people are still feeling the consequences of Mugabe's 37-year rule. We drive to the slums of Mufakose, an impoverished area in the outskirts of the capital. Here we meet Phaeton. He works as a music producer.
Welcome to Mufakose. This is my ghetto.
But when he was younger, he lived on the streets and was addicted to Bronclear. Today, he's trying to help his friends, who are all stuck in a vicious cycle of cough syrup dependency.
This is some of my ghetto youths. They don't go to work. As you can see that's what they take. That's Bronclear.
4 years ago, the government outlawed the sale of Bronclear, but the illegal import of the cough syrup, especially from South Africa, has continued. And it's very easy to get your hands on a bottle.
Even a young child, if you ask him, what is this bottle? If he or she can tell you that this is a Bronclear. Everyone is selling, even on the shops there's a lot of people who are selling these things.
Phaeton takes us to the local marketplace to show us how cough syrup is being sold and used on the street.
Yeah, left. For the sake of these guys, maybe they don't want their place to be out. So we'll get into the bar, then someone will just come and drink, then you can see.
Soon, we're surrounded by young guys drinking Bronclear.
We do it like this.
That's how
each and every day.
You can see.
The guys are already high. When you drink a lot of cough syrup every day, it can cause your teeth to rot and fall out. So to protect their teeth, they pour the liquid directly into their throats.
How long does it take until you feel
Something like 20 minutes. It's for half a day, then you need another edition. The main reason which makes us do these drugs is, guys, is unemployment. You don't have things to do. You don't get stressed or get worried about a lot of things. I've been seated at home like 2 years now.
This one makes us feel better. Stress. Don't think too much when you take this. Every day, I take one bottle and I feel high. And I don't think anything.
In a day, we say about $100 to $150. We make a profit of about $100, just one box. We have got some buyers outside South Africa, so we contact each other. We send them some money, and they bring the drugs by the bus.
Adcock Ingram, the South African company behind Bronclear, told us they are concerned with the alleged misuse of their cough syrup with codeine, and that since the product is not registered in Zimbabwe, it's illegal to export it there. They acknowledged that smuggling medicine across borders is common and told us they have internal processes in place to flag unusually high or suspicious orders. We want to understand what's being done to help young users, so we head to downtown Harare to meet up with Robin Nandusa. He heads up one of the few NGOs in Zimbabwe actively working to help addicts.
There are quite a number of reasons why the youths are actually taking drugs. The number one reason is idleness. Some of them cannot afford to go to colleges, so it's a way of coping with the stress associated with idleness.
It's hard to pinpoint the exact amount of young Zimbabweans who are addicted to Bronclear and other narcotics. The government states that no official studies have been conducted to quantify the scope of the issue. That's why various interest groups have made their own assessments. And even though the results vary a lot, one thing is certain: the number of young people living on the streets as drug users is alarmingly high.
With the information we are getting from various sources, we can say probably more than 50% of the youths in Zimbabwe are actually taking drugs.
And once you're hooked, it's hard to get help, because the only specialized rehabilitation options in Zimbabwe are privately run and unaffordable for most users. Robin tells us how the government handles it.
If you use drugs, you're a criminal, you should be sent to jail. So as an organization, we are saying the legal system should actually have some kind of rehabilitation or treatment.
We want to ask the authorities about the lack of state-run drug rehabilitation clinics, so we drive to the Ministry of Health.
The treatment for drug dependence is only available in psychiatric institutions. By keeping them in the hospital and then giving them some like maybe diazepam to make sure that they don't take the drugs. So eventually they forget to take drugs.
Robin Nandusa doesn't think that jail sentences and psychiatric treatment works. The NGO is pushing for the government to run rehabilitation clinics where people can receive proper result-oriented treatment.
The problem of actually putting those people in mental institutions is that kind of treatment is actually detoxifying them. It's not actual treatment, because you are detoxified today and tomorrow you're also craving for drugs. So that is not the proper treatment. We want a proper treatment where actually there is a gradual treatment until the person recovers.
Zimbabweans pretend to be conservative and they don't want to openly talk about these things. So going forward, we've got a generation to lose if the government does not step up and Zimbabweans themselves don't step up to try and find a solution to dealing with this drug problem that is bedeviling our nation.
My way forward to leave all that was to dump all my bad friends, close myself in my bedroom. Like when I started being serious in my music, I had no time for drugs and something like that. So that's what made me lose my interest in drugs. I have 4 siblings, and like all of them, they're looking up to me. My hope for the future is to be someone better, like a source of inspiration to the youth.
Kuzi Wakashe found a purpose in making music and hence a way out. But thousands of young Zimbabweans are still in the claws of addiction. But to treat the root cause of Zimbabwe's cough syrup abuse, the lack of opportunities for the country's youth, it will take real political change that offers them future prospects.
I am the Rust, young chippy winner, yeah, young nigga from Zim, Poppy USA, ja, yeah, 5 years from the line, I be counting that stash, yeah.